Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to do a small canvas, a vertical canvas, and we're going to be painting in a mountain, and we're going to be painting a simple sky and a large tree, and we're going to paint a river. So therefore we're going to call this one Stoney River. So sit back and enjoy this episode of Relaxation Oil Painting. Hello everyone, welcome to this new episode of Relaxation Oil Painting. I have a vertical canvas today. I don't know the exact size, it might be like 16 by 20, something like that. It's not very big, but I am doing it vertical today, so I'll have to work on a narrow perspective. I will run across all the colors that I'm using today. We have quite a full palette today, as you can see. Yellow, ochre, bright red, a light brown, a bright yellow. We have phthalo blue, sap green, alizarin crimson, Van Dyke brown. There's all kinds of stuff, black, white, of course. And we'll go into a simple scene today. I'm not going to do anything extravagant. I don't know what I'm going to paint today. I have Bob Ross going in the background as inspiration. Again, as I say on every episode, I'm no Bob Ross. I just like to paint a little bit. So with that, let's have some fun. I hope you sit back and relax and enjoy yourself. I'm going to go into a little bit of white and phthalo blue. I want this sky to be quite light blue today. I don't want it to be dark. So I'm just going into white to lighten up the phthalo blue a little bit. And I'm just using a little, I don't know what this is called. This is called an oval bristle brush. I'm just using it. I don't need much paint today, so I'm going to start at the top, work my way down. So from here, I'm just crisscrossing in this nice blue color at the very top. And excuse my arm getting in the way, but that's just the nature of the beast here. Here, crisscrossing in this nice blue. And as I work down into this liquid white that's on the canvas, the blue picks up the white and becomes lighter by nature here. And I'm just basically trying to stain the canvas. Switch to my right hand here. Just staining this blue into the canvas. Now this canvas that I'm using, I don't think it was primed. In other words, it's a very dry canvas. I don't think it was gessoed from the company. I think when I ordered this particular lot of canvases that this one is super dry. In other words, it wasn't primed. So I'm going to have to add some liquid white in here on occasion, because I can tell already that it's just absorbing the paint as I put it on. It's not the typical wet on wet style. You'll find on occasion that hairs from the brush come off. Don't freak out, just kind of get them off the canvas and go back. So here we have a nice simple blue sky, nothing crazy. And I don't think I want any clouds today. I think I want to leave it nice and bright. What I am going to do is just add a touch more of the phthalo blue to the edges, and I'll show you. I want the outside a bit darker than the middle. Just a little bit darker up here. A little more vibrant blue. And what that does is just tends to lend your eye bring your eye toward the middle more. Excuse my fat head getting in the way. Just blending in the corners here. And then we just go across, blend that all out. And then I'm going to take a clean, dry 2-inch brush, and I'm just going to blend this. Make it nice and smooth. And that easy, you have a nice deep blue sky. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's do some mountains today. I'm not going to make snow mountains. I'm going to make some brown mountains, which are kind of unusual. So let's go grab a palette knife here. This is called a palette knife. And there are several different types that I have. I have large ones and small ones. This is called a number 10 painting knife. And this is licensed by the Bob Ross Company. Bob Ross died several years ago. But what's really cool is he's become more popular than ever, which I love. I grew up watching him as a child on PBS in Massachusetts, where I was born and raised. And I just loved watching him. And then I watched his teacher, who was William Alexander, who was the original on PBS before Bob Ross. Bob Ross took William Alexander's technique and kind of refined it. Although the wet on wet style is hundreds of years old from the classic painters. So I just have some brown here, some black, and a little bit of burnt umber. And I'm just looking for a dark color, a little bit more black here. Mixing this on the palette. And I think for the background color I'm actually going to use a filbert brush to put this in. This is a filbert brush here. It just got a straight edge. Very simple 1/2 inch. And let's load this up with some brown paint. Easy enough to do. And let's go in and scrape in some mountains here. Let's see. Let's start over here. Let's maybe we'll put a mountain right in the center here. So what I'm doing is just going to scrape in some peaks. Peaks of mountain in here. And I'm just moving in, scraping in a nice shape. Maybe this mountain works its way up and it's got kind of a odd shape to it here. So I'm just looking for the outside shape more than anything. That's kind of neat, different. And maybe this comes down here. I don't know where all this goes. And maybe back here there's another peak that rises up. Maybe this one's farther away. Maybe there's one here that will probably be covered by most everything I paint, but some of this might show through. Okay, so we have a basic outline. Now what I'm going to do is take a dry brush and pull. I'm going to pull the bottom down. And all that does is soften the bottom up. So you want the top to be dark and then the bottom to be much lighter, as if there's some sort of optical illusion there of distance. And then if I pull this in front. So I'm just blending the bottom. Here. Yeah, this is definitely a dry canvas. Normally this mix is much easier. Following the angles of the mountain. There, easy enough. And then I'm just going to blend the bottom here. Easy, huh? So we have a nice set of mountains there. Let's go in and highlight these. And again, I think I can use a filbert brush if I don't want to use the knife. Let me try to use the knife and see how it comes out. And if I don't like it, I will change it. So I'm going to get some paper towel here. Excuse my hat in the way of the camera. I have to wear a baseball hat. I don't like hats usually. I'm not a hat wearer. But I wear this baseball cap because I have lights here and it just keeps the glare out of my eyes. And you'll often see me squint when I paint. That's not just because of my age, it's because it helps me focus on what I'm working on. So I want to use some burnt umber and white. I want a bright brown, if that's such a thing. So we have kind of a highlight white color of brown here. And I think I'll change it to this direction. I'm going to grab a roll of paint. Let's use our right hand today. Actually, no, let's go to the left. So maybe the sunlight is coming from the left. So you drag out, I'll show you how I do this. Drag the paint out and then cut across and get a little roll on there. And very gently, barely touching, I'm going to touch and highlight the mountain. I'm barely touching and allowing the paint to grab where it wants to. Anywhere you feel there would be highlight, touch it in. Most of that will be covered up with a tree or something, I'm sure. See? It just picks up wherever the mountain goes. Think about form and shape, so I can come in here and form another peak. Maybe this comes out a little bit over here, but it continues to pull down here. And that might be hard to see with the camera, I'm just not sure. I can see it clearly with my eye here. Maybe a little bit here. And then we can go in and just add a touch more of the light white here. put a kind of a secondary highlight. So this might be where the sun really hits the top. And barely touching here. Can you see that? I hope. Then I can go in with the knife and add some dark on the other side to make this even more stark, this line. So that's the dark side of the mountain, where there is no sun. I can go in here and add this dark side here. A little bit here. Make a ridge there just by adding that dark line. Makes kind of a dark ridge here. There's another here. Can you see? Now, if you want, we can go back in with a filbert brush. Let me find a clean one. And using the light color, I can put a more refined line here. Yeah, that's better. Isn't that cool? Dragging this down. And then, using this brush, I'm just gonna take the bottom and pull this down again. Soften up the bottom. staying with the angles of the mountain. There. So you have a nice set of brown mountains, something different. And maybe I want kind of some sort of green, I wouldn't call these mountains, but large foothills. So I'm actually going to use, actually let's use I don't know if we want to use a fan brush. Or a softer brush. Decisions. Maybe I'm gonna have some large trees there. Maybe I'll have I think I'm gonna risk, always take risks in your painting. I think I'm gonna risk having a large green mountain pulling this way, covering up most of those brown mountains. And to do that, I don't know if I want to use a big one or a fan brush. Let's use this brush. I want to go into some black, some sap green, and I'm leaving the phthalo blue that was dirty from the mountain right on the brush itself. That kind of disappears. Let's go in here and see what we come up with. I want to make some big foothills. So let's just start right in the middle, and I'm going to bring this here. There's large foothills. This one goes way up here. And maybe it carries down and gets thin. Add some perspective in. Here I'm just blocking in green color. There, I like that better. It's kind of a high, really high hill for a change. And from here I'm just gonna take this and smooth it out. Giving that illusion of faraway hills. Softens that nicely. I'm not going to clean that 1-inch brush yet. And let's go into another one. I'm going to go in just a touch of liquid white. Liquid white thins the paint. And let's go into some yellow ochre here, which is a golden color, maybe just a touch of bright yellow. And then a little bit of green. Just a touch of green here. I want this kind of a light green highlight color. And I'm just banging this into the bristles. Just looking for a light green here. And maybe a touch more. Just a bit more liquid white. Okay, let's see what that comes up with. Let's see if this sticks. Sun's coming from the left, so I'm just going to touch. That's nice. That makes a nice highlight. Can you see the highlight on the camera, I hope? Just adding a touch, and then maybe we'll go in and add just a bright yellow spot up here, just a touch more yellow. That's it. So that looks like, instead of just dark green, it has light highlight yellow on the top. Just gives it a bit more depth, a little more softness instead of just a black color. Now if we wanted to give it a little more depth, I'll go back and I can go into this and add the dark under. Can you see that? So I can go back in and change. This is what I love about this style. Like, if you don't like it, you can change everything. So I can re-add in shadow if I want. And maybe we'll even add just a touch of green here, as if a mountain's coming down here. I'll have to just fix that. And this looks like trees coming down. So I like that. Maybe we have some green hill. Now let's go in and do this. Now light won't show up without dark, so I like this pasture here. I'm going to smooth that out a little bit more. Taking my large 2-inch brush, I'm just going to take a little of that and soften it. Okay. And let's go in and let's see, where do we want to go today? Those of you at home probably have a bunch of suggestions of where to go. I do want to soften this. Oops, making a mess. That's better. I didn't like that little part of the mountain there. That's much better. Okay. I just had to fix something. So what do you guys want to add into this? Let's go to a large tree there. But before I do that, I want to put a background in. I think I will add... Let's get radical. I'm going to add in some texture to this green hill. So I'm going to go into some yellow ochre, which is that golden color, and I'm just going to tap in some different colored grass here. Again, I'm just adding layer after layer. I love this part. I love just kind of creating colors, just putting different colors in, seeing what we come up with. See, I'm just blending it finely in. I want this soft. I want this very soft. As if it goes way back there. Soft, 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 soft. And see, as I'm moving along, I change things that I feel need to change. So I added a little bit of a hill here. That's good. Good. And let's go in and add some dark. So grabbing the dark brush here. I'm going to add a pine tree over there. So maybe in our world there's dark here. And let's put in, using a fan brush, let's use this fan brush here. I'm going to go into this dark black, green, even a touch of alizarin crimson, more sap green and black. I want this dark. And coming up here, I'm going to add in a tree right there. Putting in a dark pine. second one. And a third. Pushing those mountains back into the distance. More green, more black. And bang, let's put one here. Why not? It's our world. I love trees. Maybe we're looking through this pine grove into the mountains. So maybe there's a lot of trees covering up. Maybe there's one right here, even between these mountains. I'm going to leave some of the mountain showing through, of course. But maybe the vast majority is covered. Nice. That's different. One there. We just have darkness here. Can you see? The heck, let's put one here too. Maybe that's the little baby brother or the baby sister that these big ones take care of. It's important for older brothers and sisters to take care of their young ones. There's one that's a little bit stepped on. Maybe a bear stepped on him when he was a baby. So we have kind of a cool pine forest going on. And let's put one more here. This one's farther away. See that? Much farther. There's one up here. Very far away. I just put a hint of color. See, I can still see the mountain through there. I love that. I can still see the peaks. Now you can take a knife if you want and scrape in a couple of trunks. I'm just using the sharp sharp edge here to give the illusion of some pine trees here, so I'll cover most of this up, but gives the illusion of trunks. Then I go back into this dark and I just cover some of this up. So it doesn't look so you know, forced. Nice. I like that. See? Maybe we have some wiggly things here. Now if you want, it's possible we can go into the phthalo blue. Let's try something. I don't know if this will work, but we'll try it. I could go in here and pull down some water if I wanted to. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I'm just trying it. Pulling in some of the green above it. Just in case we want some water. So we have the sky, mountains, background, we have the midground, and then we can go in and start to add in a foreground. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of land right here. This is going to be I'm just using the knife, scraping in a little bit of a shoreline. See, that just adds a little dark line there. I like that. Kind of hides in the water. And then I can use a little bit of liquid white here. And put in a little water line. There. Now, I can also go in if I want and highlight a little bit, if I want to add just a little bit of brown, burnt umber. Adding a little bit of highlight here on the land. This kind of separates, again, separates the grass from the water. Being mindful of the lay of the land. Adds a little bit of a nice line there. Okay, let's get radical again and go in and take some of the dark color. Black, brown, sap green. And let's go in and add I'm going to add some land here. That pushes the water back. There, now we have a peninsula. Back to my palette knife. Some Van Dyke brown, a little burnt umber. A little bit of black. And maybe there's a little bit of land here. Maybe there's a rocky surface. Let's just carry some land here. Highlight it. White burnt umber. A little Prussian, Van Dyke brown here. Let's just see what this does. Just lightly touch. And then I ever so slightly pull some of that dark in. Hypnotize it, go across, smooth it out. Let's add in a water line here with some, clean off this knife, excuse me. Hope everyone's having a good day out there. I hope you're relaxing, enjoying your life, making the best of it. You know, I was thinking the other day, actually I think pretty much every day, at how fortunate I am to be alive. Not a religious thing, it's just something I think about. The fact that how old the universe is, 13 or 14 billion years old. I don't know if it's 13.8 or something. And the fact that there are so many planets, billions of planets in our universe, so far away, and here we are in this small little Milky Way galaxy, on this third rock from the sun, and we have consciousness. Life was developed, evolved from eukaryotic sources, and here we are. Evolved to where we are, where we can sit and paint. It's pretty amazing. I never take life for granted. Never, 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 never. And I hope you don't either. Let's risk some bright red. Talking about life. Let's put some red color in here. Let's brighten this canvas up. And coming in here and tapping in some flowers or something. Maybe they come right down to the shoreline. There, can you guys see that? I hope. That's cool. Ooh, that's nice. I like that line right there. That's beautiful, the blue and the red. And maybe there's some in the back here that you can see. So the seeds have been pollinated and they've spread across this pond or this river. Nice. Don't kill these dark lines here, leave those. Just smoothing out the bottom a little bit. Scraping in a little bit of structure. This little foreground detail. like that so far. We're not done. Let's make this a river. So I'm going to take a fan brush with some straight white here. And maybe there's some rapids here coming through. See? We have some movement with the white that carries over. You know, when you get to this point, and maybe there's a little waterfall here. Light at the top, and that just pulls. Maybe there's water there, waterfall, and there's some movement here for some reason. See? And then I go in here and I add a little bit of darkness with the dark blue and the black. Maybe there's some dark blue underneath here where the water hits. And then we go back into the white and splash a little bit of water here. So the water breaks, comes down, and then maybe splashes here. Maybe in this part, maybe there's a large river here that, you know, is faster running water. So this might be a pond here, or maybe the river goes through there, and then this part is where the river kind of speeds up. So I put some swirling action here. Pulling this out, maybe it goes right off here. A little bit of white down the bottom. That's kind of nice. See? And then if you want, you can go in with a real fine brush. Like this one. Look at that tiny thing. It's not even a brush. It's just a so small. Maybe we can add a couple stones here. Maybe there's a rock here, you know, where the waterfall has to go around it. I just touch with the brown. Couple rocks here. Maybe there's a rock right there where the waterfall has to kind of go between. See? Just adding this dark color above it. Kind of gives the waterfall a little bit of structure there, a little bit of something to sit inside. Yeah, that kind of lets it sit better. There, I like that. So you have a little bit of a rolling river. Maybe there's a rock right here. Ooh. There. Maybe there's one here. That's it. The other one there. Adds a little bit more structure. Then I go back into the, where's the light one? Here it is. Go back into the white. And I just brush. A little water here. These are the heaviest rapids right in front. I like that. Pretty cool. Look at the little waterfall. Okay, let's add that there. Now we can leave it this way. I don't know what your opinion is. You may hate it. That's okay. You're always going to have people that hate your work. Always going to have haters out there. That shouldn't stop you, as it doesn't stop me. I want this darker. Gosh, if I stopped every time someone said, I hate that, I wouldn't get anything done. But there's usually far more people who enjoy what you do. I'm going to add a peak. Watch this. Look at that. Can you move mountains? That makes that much more interesting. And check this out. Boom! Let's make that a peak too. Now we're getting it. That mountain was too sharp. We can move mountains in this art. No one can stop us. Almighty Creator, as William Alexander would say. Almighty mountain. Look at that. There. Better. Change what you don't like about anything in our life. Anything. You don't like it, change it. Stop complaining and just do it. One life, one chance. Do it. Yes, 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 yes. Much better. Okay, let's add a couple things here. Now, do you want to get brave or leave it? I think, you guys, I think I want to get brave. And you're asking, how are you going to get brave? We can stop here. I like it. It's not bad. But I want to be brave. So I'm going to add a large tree. A very large tree. It's going to be here, and it's going to go up. So a lot of that will be covered. Are you ready for your bravery test? All those naysayers out there. Those of you who are painters are probably like, yeah, do it. The ones that are try to stay safe will say, don't do it. Take a guess which one I'm going to do. I'm going to paint a tree. I'm going to paint a big tree using the filbert brush, and then we will fix it when we get there. So I'm going to take the brown and the black. Excuse me. And we are going to make ourselves a big tree. Here. Oh, bravery test. Those of you out there going, don't do it, ruined. Don't do it. For goodness sake, don't do it. I say to hell with you. Too late now. Don't do it. Oh, we're gonna do it. We are gonna do it right there. Big tree. Now, let's make some branches. Got a mess of brushes going here. Liner brush into the dark. Black and brown. Let's make ink. Adding paint thinner to this brown-black color. I want this really thin for branches. I'm just bringing this to a tip. And I come off here. I'm going to actually stand for this for a second. Excuse me. It's too low. Come off. I have to change the brush. I'll tell you why. That liner brush is really not good for this. Here's another. Let's go in here and try this one. I think this one will hold its form better. And again, you can spend hours doing these. We don't have that luxury, but we can put leaves on these if we want. Big tree. Told ya. I was gonna put a big tree. Makes the painting interesting. There, another V. See? This one comes right off out in front. Comes up here. I told you guys. Didn't believe me. That's nice. I like the distinct tree. Okay. Ruined, they yell. Ruined. Now, leave that. I might need it. Go in and highlight the side of the tree a little bit. I will do that with, let's use this tiny sucker here. Let's go into that same color we used for the highlights of the land that we put in. So this is just kind of a tannish color, I guess you'd call it. See if this, I don't know if this is going to show. Ah, it shows, okay. I'm just touching in a little bit of highlight here on the tree. It breaks up that dark color. You could do this with this brush. You could use a palette knife. You can use anything you want. Most of this will be covered up. It's a nice texture. Okay, see, I can see a little highlight there. And we go into our filbert brush. And let's just add a whole bunch of shapes up here. This is adding these dark shapes. Again, you can use any type of brush you want for this. I'm just using the filbert because I have it dirty here. But you can use really, again, any type of brush you want. Following the branch, just creating what is the appearance of leaves. Some in the background, some in the front. Looks like a big old pine, doesn't it? Or some sort of oak or something. Big, big tree. But you see, I can still see the pine trees through it. I know they're there. I can see it. That comes right across the trunk. Good. It's so much fun. Isn't that neat? It shows up beautifully against the against the blue. It really pops. Beautiful. And then you leave some of the blue again. You leave some of that blue to pop through. Yes. It's all impressionism. That's all it is. Impressionism. Add a bush there, see? Just a little bit of scrub brush there. Yes, see? Changing up the colors. Cleaning up the foot of the tree. It's a long painting. This is one of our longer ones. It's okay. I like this. But I'm having fun. I hope you are. I'm having a blast here. Just making this dark at the bottom. I want that dark. I am having a blast with you guys. I thank you so much for watching. You may hate this. I don't know. I'm having fun. Creating. Look at that there. Good. Okay. Now I'm gonna I don't know if I want to leave this dark up here or add a couple highlights. I just don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we leave it or highlight the tree? Sometimes these look beautiful, just dark, you know, very dark with nothing going on under it. And then sometimes they look better highlighted. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I'm going to add a couple of stones at the bottom. Let's use this. I actually want to use, where did my dark brown filter? Here it is. I want to add a couple stones here. We'll clean these up. I'm just adding some dark here. I'll show you when I'm done. This is a river. There would be some stones sticking out, so I think that adds a little more interest to the bottom here. You may not agree. And then, using our highlight brush, just go back in and tap in some foam around those stones. Cleaning up the bottoms. That's it. Can you see the stones now? So again, that just makes it a little more interesting. See? Okay, I think we're nearing a completion here. I'm not going to add any highlight. I'm not going to add a highlight to the branches. Little reflective light from the water onto the tree, which is a little bit of blue. A little blue light from the water would reflect. Okay, you guys, I think we're done. I like that with the darkness. I'm not going to add any highlight to that. I like the dark color. So there you have it. A pretty quick painting, although I don't know how long that took. Gosh, I had a blast with you guys. I don't know. Let's call this one let me think of a name. Yeah, mountain, yeah, the river, giant pine. Now there are different types of pine trees. I don't know if that's technically a pine. I will think of a name for this. Maybe we'll call it Stoney River. Stoney River. S-T-O-N-E-Y. Stoney River. I think that's how you spell Stoney. I like that. I like this here with the river in the foreground. Kind of looks mysterious there. So there you have it, you guys. I really thank you so much for watching. I have a blast painting. It just reminds me of my childhood. I don't do this very often. Maybe once, twice a month, if that. But I thank you so much for joining me. You could have done a million other things, but I hope this relaxes you in some sort of way. I hope that you can relax your mind a little bit from the rigmarole of life and kind of go with me into this creative process. I often don't know what I'm going to create. I'm not a fine artist. I don't pre-draw on the canvas. I don't really do any of that. I just like to free flow. And I know this isn't very good art. It just makes me happy. And hopefully it brings you a little bit of joy too. This is Todd Norcross, and I will see you on the next episode of Relaxation Oil Painting.